Welcome to Elite 6 Business Networking Think Tank, facilitated by your host Danny DeHeck, the place where decision makers come together to share their experience, knowledge and skills. Hello, welcome to Elite 6 Think Tank meeting, and you're listening to 6 people who are members of Elite 6 who get together each week to discuss a topic. Today's theme is actually getting money in now. We're talking about grabbing some low-hanging fruit from your business when you need to get some money in, and we've just got a think tank meeting in progress. But I just wanted to go around the room quickly and just introduce who's in the room. So Paul, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yep, I'm Paul Starling. I'm based out in Rangiora up in North Canterbury, about 40 minutes north of Christchurch. And I run Canterbury Computer Services, and we provide IT services for small businesses and home users. And for a little sidekick, I also have kiwisouvenirs.co.nz, and we send soft and fluffy toys all over the world.
Cool. Thank you very much. And Lachlan?
Yes, I'm Lachlan McNeill. I have a company called Core Recruitment. We're technical recruiters dealing with engineers and architects and the like. And I also have an on-brand which I'm developing called Earn Your Crust, which is all about the wiggly world of work and small business.
Brilliant. Mark?
Yeah, I'm Mark Scown, insurance broker with clients ranging from Auckland to Dunedin and the West Coast, based in North Canterbury though. I specialise in personal and small risk, business risk insurance, but my particular speciality is being able to provide restructuring of existing client insurances to give them a long-term affordability and sustainability by getting into levelled premiums in the core elements.
Thank you. And Rob?
My name is Mr. Woolley, and I run Academy Antiques and Academy Training. Academy Antiques specialises in English porcelain, and Academy Training specialises in teaching you public speaking, presenting skills, leadership, management skills, basically anything with wisdom.
Helen?
I'm Helen Oakes. I am a photographer, a digital creator and an educator, and I also have some online stores.
Brilliant. Lance?
Hi, Lance Hasty, owner of Com Technology business that specialises in solving technology in business and developing solutions to get you out of that pain point. And it could be a microcontroller solution where focus is in the agricultural primary industry sector with Internet of Things technology. So that's taking sensory data and using the cloud to improve your productivity in business life.
Brilliant. And last but definitely not least is David Clarkson.
Hi, I'm David Clarkson from Dynamic Communication, and we, like Rob, are public speaking and presentation skills trainers, and we also do training around soft business skills. So I like to say that we build more confident, more competent, more credible communicators, so that for people who have got to start and prepare a speech and don't know where to start, they should give us a call. And if people have ever sat in a business meeting or any sort of public meeting and sat there like a stunned mullet, and afterwards said to themselves, well, I could have said something, but more I should have said something, and they didn't, then they should give us a call because we can help with that. And finally, if you've ever done a presentation and at the end of it, you've said to yourself, hey, that sucked, then sure as hell, you need to give us a call and we can help you with your presentation skills. That's David Clarkson from Dynamic Communication.
Thank you. And you can find all these people's in the Think Tank Meetings profile on our show notes. Just click on their name, it will go into their profile. I'm Danny DeHeck. I'm facilitating the meeting, and I basically help build people's personal brands online, and you can read more about us on our website. So today we've got a little bit of a different structure than normal. We're doing a bit more of a quick fire session. The topic for the day is getting money in now, and what we do is we break this into 4 sections: people's experiences with trying to get money in quickly, problems that they may have when doing so, some practical solutions, and then at the end of the meeting we'll be talking about some takeaways, and then we've got some topics already outlined for meetings going forward. So let's open the discussion up, and how about you guys tell us your experience with trying to get money in from your business? Good and bad stories, all welcome. Who would like to have a go first?
I'm happy to start it off, Danny. I can always remember back in the day when I was working for an international oil company and I was on the road for them, the credit controller for the company saying to us that a sale has never been made or completed until the money's in the bank.
Yeah.
And, you know, just making a sale is not enough. You've got to get the money in the bank. And the quickest way to do that is have extremely clear terms of trade that are signed on to by new clients when they come on.
That brings to mind something that I encourage everyone to do who's got a small business, is have a way of collecting money, like a credit, you know, like a PayPal account, or I set up the other day that I really like, is called Buy Me a Coffee. Often people will use my services, and then I can send them a link saying, if you valued my time, why not buy me a coffee? They come along, they can select to buy 1 or 10 coffees, and that money goes straight into my account, and it's no hassle getting that money off people. So I think that's a really important thing, is to have a way where you can invoice people, and maybe collecting the money from credit cards really good.
I think David brought up a good point there, which is there's two things we're talking about really. One is, as a general thing, as a business, generally getting paid earlier on the ongoing process. And the second thing we're sort of referring to is the special occasion when you get caught short. I've had situations when I've had, many years ago, when I've had bad debts, and suddenly you realize that a client is not going to pay you and you've got salaries to pay. So there's emergency situations. But certainly on the ongoing thing, I've found that for me, good terms and conditions, making sure you discuss them with the client. The mere fact you discuss them means that you're happy to talk about money, but also invoicing quickly. I found the later I invoiced, the later people paid me. If I took 2 weeks to invoice, they'd often take a month to pay me. If I invoiced that afternoon, I'd get paid in a couple of days. It's just they knew I was on the ball.
That's really good.
Yeah, and if you have a large number of clients, there's an old saying, but I think it still holds true today, that the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah.
And so if you're constantly at people who haven't paid their bills by due date, they'll think of you next, to avoid the aggro of them having to talk to you again and again and again.
Yeah.
And you've got to be, debt collection, especially if you've got a large number of clients, is something that you've got to put time to and be diligent about it, because otherwise if you don't collect the money, it comes straight off your bottom line. And that's an accountant speaking, or ex-accountant.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And from my experience, I'm in an industry that's becoming ever increasingly regulated, being the insurance industry. And so there's actually no quick ways to generate income per se. I've got clients on my book that I'm working through a process with. Unfortunately, I've got a number of these clients who are all sort of deferring month by month before that we can get to that final application stage. I just have to live with that. In the meantime, I'm receiving no income. For me to try and generate money in quickly, it's really turning my attention to that group of people, typically who are younger, now employed, so they've got a stable income, no health issues on the horizon. I can potentially turn them around in 2 or 3 weeks. And it's nothing to do with their speed of invoicing once they have made application. It has to go through the underwriting, and so it's the insurance companies that pay me. But that's the only way I can speed up my income stream, is subtly change my target audience in that period.
That's quite funny, because I was actually thinking in your industry, you just about need a side hustle, something else you could do. Because I think what I've noticed is once you've got your business all set up and you've got your billing, and you don't even really have billing in your business,
no.
Then you can do some other activity to get money in. But just what you said was quite interesting to me, because obviously you can go after a different type of clientele that actually may be easier to get, because I know you're going for the 50 above age group. So yeah, why not start a new category of clientele?
Well, it's not really starting. Probably 20% of my clients are under 35 now. So they are always there, but usually they process through underwriting faster. There's no requirements for underwriters to go off to your GPs and get records, and that all builds in delay. But in terms of remuneration, I get probably half what I do with a client 45 plus.
Yeah, so your longer term prospect doesn't make sense to market to that area in big time, but in the short term, you might just pick up a few of those jobs.
Yeah, there is a spin-off though, because they become an early client, they're younger, and because I'm doing leveled parts of their business, they're going to stay with me forever. So there's an ongoing trail income to come too. So, you know, there's no downside to it.
Yeah, okay.
Good stuff. Anyone else got any experiences like that with, yes, Rob?
I don't know if the experiences like that, but my industry is slightly different. If I need to turn over some money in a hurry, which is usually because I have to pay income tax, GST, you know, like, or have a holiday, is I'll put extra items online, or I will wait until all of the items have ended, and then I will offer, you know, like hundreds of them to create some extra turnover. It's about taking your stock and to manipulate your stock. So that's how I earn extra money. You know, like at the moment, I don't want to earn any money at the moment, you know, like, and so I don't have any items on at all, and I won't have any on until the end of the month. And then I'll be earning, you know, like the money for April, which will help me actually hand over the money that I need to pay at the end of April to the tax man.
Rob, do you ever do like bulk amounts as a sale item, or you never have things on sale? It's just
No, I'm not able to do that. I wouldn't be able to manage that with the type of items I have. But like, for example, you know, if I've owned items, you know, like over a year, they've had an opportunity, you know, like, and if I can recoup, you know, like a small amount out of those, you know, like, and move them on, you know, then I'd just, you know, like, prefer to move them on. Only if I need the money. If I don't need the money, you know, then they can just, you know, like, remain on there as normal.
Yeah. In terms of experiences, I certainly have found that in terms of this business recruitment, you're working on big long-term jobs, but if you've suddenly got to bring money in, it does disrupt that process. You can't just freeze it. You've got to keep in touch with people and keep that rolling. It's like trying to ride two bicycles in some ways, and then you go jump. But so I'll often do CVs. I can fit them in, but it's still, in terms of experiences, it can cause a chaos. And there often is a price to pay long term for having to dive around and find some money from somewhere because of that process. So, you know, it's not just the put money in, it's the getting the other stuff back on board as well, back on track.
So, Lachlan, would you put that down as doing smaller?
My experience is it causes chaos. It stops. So there is a price to pay for doing cheap jobs. I mean, look at Danny. If he suddenly started doing cheap websites, that causes disruption to what he's doing on his quality website. So you've got to consider it. But that's right. So that's, yeah, in terms of my experiences. In my CAD business, that was quite hard, picking work up, because we did work for engineering companies. So how do you suddenly pick up work? But what I did do is I found printing out the big plans earned me money. So I would just sometimes put a quick advert out and say, look, I can plot drawings for you, and we get that sometimes. But it was quite difficult. I wish I had a side gig going on in my previous business, my CAD business.
Yeah. Okay, guys, just respect to time. We're not going to be recording this as long as we did previously, but so we're sort of quick fire more than anything, really. So, are there any problems that we're having with getting money in?
Well, I think that's the problem, that money dries up. That is the problem.
Yeah.
But it often reflects the amount or level of activity you've done in the preceding month or months. And in my industry, when I talk to the business development managers from any particular insurance company, they're always saying to me, Mark, you just got to keep coming in at the top of the funnel. You just got to keep putting stuff in there. And, that sort of mantra has probably been around for, decades. And it's true. Although, you don't want to think that you're just trying to feed stuff in, because you're actually trying to deliver a quality product and so on to people.
Sure, that's true. Well, but the problems I've had is clients ghosting you. You're working away, busy. You make a placement or something like that, and then suddenly, my bills are generally paid within 7 days, 10 days, 14 days, 21 days, and you send them emails, no reply. So that's one of my problems. Just no communication.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I've found useful, because most of my guys are on subscriptions, and a lot of them are used to paying on the 20th of the month. So I basically double billed everybody 1 month, so they were a month in hand. And I also have my account system set up that if they're due to pay, they get the reminder email. And if they don't pay, they get a reminder every 7 days. The only downside to that is you've got to keep up with when money goes in the bank. You've got to make sure that you put it in the system. Otherwise, customers will get upset because they're getting a reminder for something they've already paid for.
Gotcha.
But I found that really improved the cash flow. People that were traditionally not paying for a month, and now they've got used to the fact that they're getting all these emails. They don't like the emails, so they're just paying.
True. That's more of a solution. But I tell you what I found in terms of problems is when you offer a discount, next time you're back on track normally, they always remember the discount. That's the problem.
Put the price up. They only get the discount if they pay on time.
But the trouble is in temptation sometimes, like Danny, if he says, I'll do your website for $1,000 or $500, well, next time people come back, they say, I'll have one of those $500 websites, and you think, well, that's not on offer anymore, and then you feel like the bad guy. So that's one of the problems.
I think if you've got a discounting thing going and you say all you've got to do basically is say it is for a set period of time, full stop, and then the offer concludes or finishes.
I think the electricity companies have pretty well nailed it with their 10% surcharge, but if you pay on time, it'll be this price, and that people just don't like doing that, so they're still maintaining their budgeted amount. But there's that 10% inducement in there, so they're not really genuinely giving a 10% discount. They've probably increased the whole charge across the scheme by 10%, and if you pay quickly, you can get it.
You have $8,000 outstanding on $60 a month invoicing, so do the maths on that, and then I introduced a $15 late fee, and I got $5,000 in within a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the solution is people just not taking you seriously, there, Danny, is it? Yeah. I mean, you're not, and it's what Paul says is the problem is that you're out of people's minds.
Yeah.
And having real-time credit card processing is brilliant for me.
Okay.
Somebody the other day said, why don't you set up Polypay, which is basically a direct debit system, which works very similar to credit card processing. And I'm going, but then I had to pay another $100 or $200 to get that set up on my website for the few people that don't know how to set up a monthly payment on the same day. The other tip I'd share is once upon a time, I used to have 100 people pay me a monthly fee, and I used to charge them on the 1st of the month. And that's how I pay my bills on the 20th. And like Paul said earlier, well, then I used to double bill them, 6 weeks ahead. But I found that a lot of people had money on the 1st to pay their bills because they got paid on the 25th or 26th from their people. And then the money on the 1st wasn't really a biggie because they had money in their account rather than telling me I don't have any money at the moment to pay your bill.
Okay. Rob, when you're putting your stuff online, do you do sort of discount? If you want to get money in the door, would you discount that to get it in quicker?
Yeah, there's a few tactics I have, and it's interesting hearing everybody else's solution to the problem or the cost of offering a discount. If I've got a regular customer, like most 90% of my customers are quite happy to pay standard price. If I discount, I'm training all of them to expect a lower price.
Yeah.
And the secret is, how can I offer the discount to the ones who will need it to buy, but not to anybody else? And the easy way, for me to do that is that, you run an auction at the normal amount, and after the auction has expired, you offer it, and you offer it to everybody who doesn't normally buy from you.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the last thing you want to do is, if a person is in the habit of purchasing an $80 item, is to ever hand them an item below $80, because then their expectation has decreased.
Right.
And, there's no way in my industry that I can say, well, that was, like a one-off, because there is no one-off.
Yeah.
The expectation is you got it once, you're going to get it all the time. I think that one thing that I'm hearing, and maybe being reminded, is that if we want cash in, we have to pay for it.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely right. It costs.
Yeah.
I think when you're
And Rob, I'm a firm believer, if you do decide to do discounting,
you guys hear?
even if it's just a one-off thing.
Can you guys not hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
You couldn't hear me talking?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I just want to make sure. All right, carry on, David.
So, start again. If you're giving a discount or making a special offer, key thing always is to put the full price on the invoice, and then line below it, less negotiated discount, less summertime's discount ends 31st of March, something or other like that, and then give them the discount and then show the net price. That way, then it reinforces in their mind that in actual fact they are getting something less than, that they are getting a discount, but that it's not normal.
Yeah, that's true. So can we put, in terms of problems, there's two problems we identified. One is that people think that the discount is sort of forever. And the second thing is that Rob said is it costs money. All just getting money in quickly costs money. So they are problems.
Good stuff, guys.
And often it can be a fair chunk of your profit.
Well,
I think a solution here, because I do have I wouldn't say it's a solution. It's a solution that I have, and that is that I put all of my items on, but they're not active, which means I can hit them on or hit them off whenever I want. So I guess a solution to get money in, or to avoid needing to get the money in, is to plan. Work out how much money am I going to have or require at any particular time.
Yeah, solutions, do your cash flow, of course.
Yeah, and the other planning to go with that, and we've talked about it in other sessions, is have a systematic approach to it, so that if you normally do it, if you send your accounts out and they're due for whenever they're due, that within a week after they've come in, you review who's paid and who hasn't, and you straight away get into the people who haven't.
Right, so just to keep the meeting on track there, so that we're on to solutions now more than problems. But is there anything else that you can think of that could have been a problem, or we
mentioned a couple of those before. It costs money to get money in quickly. It costs,
It's like saying you need to go on a road trip when you've got no petrol in the tank.
And then the other one was that if people get used to discounts, they think they're the norm.
Yeah.
The other thing in problems, Danny, is a good customer who's suddenly late, and you don't want to upset the relationship by asking for money.
Yeah,
That's
true.
the
Yeah,
problem.
you don't want to face them. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And
It's
that
embarrassing.
I think another one as well is that in reality, right, we can't always increase revenue if we want, which means, you know, like we've got to, you know, like ask for an overdraft, you know, like, or anything along the lines of that.
Yeah.
And right, an overdraft is not always approved, and overdrafts do cost extra money as well.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a good point, actually. If you're financing other people's,
Yeah.
theoretically, aren't you, with an overdraft?
you're using me as a bank.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
The problem is embarrassment, frankly. You know, I just think you put the embarrassment. There's the embarrassment of having to chase money.
Well, how do you think I felt when I had $8,000 outstanding from my members, which I love? They
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
saying, "Oh,
I
enough,
know.
enough."
So the embarrassment, I think we need to put that down as a problem.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's pretty much what that was the thing I was talking about.
Yeah, that's right. I just want to get it on the list.
They're really good points.
Yeah, great points.
There.
How do you spell embarrassment?
EMBARASS.
Yeah, they're like that.
It's an extra and an
Yeah.
extra S, I
Yeah.
think.
All right. So some solutions would be, we did talk a few, didn't we, actually?
Yeah.
Plan your cash
Plan to
flow.
collect your debts.
Yep.
And I've just put down on chat, you know, try and accumulate a rainy day fund that can be drawn down in those low income months. I'm certainly in an industry where in any given year, I could have up to 3 of those months a year.
Yeah.
I'll go with that one.
So do you have a fund, Mark? That,
I wish I did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
That's
Struggle with
you've got to have a really good year to be able to meet all your tax things, as Rob's saying, but also you know, my rainy day fund at the moment is running on empty.
Yeah.
You have to sell the island behind you, Mark.
What's that?
Sell the island behind you.
Yeah, well, I just own the wet part. I don't own the land part. That's the trouble.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
so true, though.
Hey, and one more, Danny. One more. Be unembarrassable. It's your money.
Yeah, that's gold, Dave. Absolutely.
So what do I do with the guy that owes me $50 at the moment? He was so hell bent on paying for my time, but hasn't paid my invoice.
Give them an easy way to do it.
Yeah.
Give them an easy way to do it.
I did. I told him to go to this little app and buy me.
Helen, put a dash in there. It's your money.
Are you listening, David?
But you've made it difficult by telling him to go to an app, because lots of people don't like apps. So if you just send him an invoice.
Can't he pay through PayPal?
Hold it. Wait a minute, guys. Let me answer.
No.
What I did, I sent him a text with my bank account number on it because he couldn't log in to get my bank account number and with the amount to pay.
Oh.
And he's just ignored me. I mean, you know, am I looking like an idiot because I'm going after $50?
No.
No,
No.
not at all.
I think you are if you go hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
You see, you know, like to me, when I started, in fact, now that I think about it, I've never gone hard after money. You know, like you just, you know, like you wait here, you know, like, and you wait for it to, you know, like arrive in. You know, like if I don't get any money off a Trade Me after a purchase for about 3 weeks, it would have to be. You know, like I emailed them and asked them, have you paid, because I can't see it.
Yeah.
You know, like, and is there an issue? You know, like, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I guess I'm in a good position in a way. I have no power at all. So if a purchaser purchases off me and decides, you know, like, to alter their mind, there is nothing I can do about it. I accept there is nothing I can do about it. And so, you know, like, you don't get all huffy about it.
So what's the solution there, Rob?
The solution is that don't worry too much about money.
Sometimes be prepared to walk away.
Yeah.
Don't let it grind you down. Remember, this will cost you an ongoing chasing a $50 bill to spend a day chasing $50. It's probably not worth it.
I just literally delete the invoice and take them out of my contacts, and you know, and that's what I do, because it's not at one point $50 not worth it. But if I was chasing $5,000 and I'd done the work, and the guy me, then it's, you know, then you have your terms and conditions, and that's where you chase it. But I'm not worried about $50. But how I think I feel stupid actually going after it now. and don't be unembarrassable. But I mean, the guy offered, he knew the price, and then
he has put you in a position of you are having to pay because you are now uncomfortable, etc., 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 because of him. I ended up in that position, like earlier on in the week where, like a lady had purchased a plate off me. She hadn't paid the postage. I asked if it was going to be a pickup. And she said, no, it's to Auckland, how much? Well, everybody who has bought off Academy for the last 15 years knows that it's $8. Wouldn't really matter where you're sending it to. And I said, it's $8. And she said, oh, but can't you put it in a blah, blah, blah? I said, it's $8. Do you not want to purchase your plate? I'm fine either way. And she didn't come back. So I just, refunded her money.
Yeah. I think for closure, yeah. I don't know. Don't get stewed up about it.
Helen have a speech. She's getting pissed off that no one's listening to her.
Okay, Helen.
Can people listen? Try not to overtalk each other because I'm getting it here.
I was just going to say with Rob that you don't need to send the goods until you get the money. So that's a good thing for you. Yeah, so you're covered. Yeah. And if you do the service, then you're waiting for the money. So yeah, good for you.
Yeah, well, spare a thought. In my industry, I can do all the work and all the service and the statements of advice. And at the end of the day, if they then say, well, no, you're potentially down 10 or 20 hours of your time and it's non-billable.
The same thing in recruitment. You can do a lot of work for nothing. But my CAD business was the worst for that. You deliver a whole set of drawings to someone. Once they have the drawings, they had all the value. You've done all the work. And I did have a few people just never pay me.
Did you not put, for that, Lachlan, couldn't you put them in a protected, what do you call it, PDF document that expires after a certain period of time?
No, these are often where we do these. Funny enough, developers were always the worst problem, and you would, because they didn't have their own facilities, you'd actually have everything they could give to a client, and it was always on a tight deadline. You often deliver it in good faith, and then they would just not pay because they always had better places for money. Engineers, architects, absolutely fine, never a problem. But you can't really protect them because they often have to. For engineers, they need those files to be able to use in their system, even to check them.
I guess the only thing you can do is keep it all online, and they can't download it till they pay.
Yeah, this was many years ago. I had a CAD business, so I was a bit more basic then. But honestly, the grief it caused just was the thing.
And they're saying that having it all online sounds great, but there's a big setup in some of that sort of stuff, and having system around that can be a nightmare setting up in itself.
Yeah.
I was just one thing we didn't discuss, which just came in my mind. It's probably just about going out as I'm talking. Oh, the customers that you do look after are the ones that pay promptly. And I think the thing too is those are the ones that you'll drop everything for because they always pay promptly. And that's how I view my bills when I'm paying them. I don't pay on the due date. I usually pay as soon as I can, straight away, knowing hopefully that's how they work out.
All right. I think there's another small point here, but it is an important one. All right, enjoy your day, Mark.
Okay, I gotta go.
Yeah, Mark.
All right.
Catch you next week.
And that is that if we're after cash in a hurry, we're probably after the cash in a hurry for our own bills or holiday, or whatever it is. And that most people are understanding if you explain you don't have the money, and if you tell them when the others are going to have all of the money that they need as well. And so, we can explain it the other way too.
That good communication, I think, would be, but I personally feel embarrassed if I tell people I don't have the money to pay. And I think a lot of people assume that you can bankroll them, and I shouldn't really have that discussion with them. I don't know why that seems unusual, but I do feel that some people seem to think asking for money does seem to be an unusual thing in a way, because I just don't understand why people don't pay their bills more promptly or have a system ready.
Well, some people are serial debtors, so
some people just are, absolutely.
They're just arseholes. You just can't get away from that.
Yeah.
Right. Just in respect to time, I'm trying to keep. We've gone through a pretty fast meeting. Just if we could have some takeaways, would be awesome. Like that you got from today's meeting.
Plan for your problems before you reach them.
Good plan.
Plan for your problems before they.
Yeah, have processes in place so when they're bad debtors, you know what you can do with them.
Yeah.
If you have money in your pocket, it can stay in your pocket.
But I actually like Rob's one. In fact, offering if you're going to offer a special deal, discounts, don't sully the relationship with your own clients by offering them a discount. Sounds silly, but offer a discount to someone outside your norm, and therefore you don't change the expectations of your clients. Does that make sense?
To reiterate, what we always try and hold true to is to know your value and to hold your standard.
That's a big one, I think.
That's true, Lance, because often you will, lower your standard by having a big sale or reducing things, and that just makes you look like you're desperate and cheap,
There is a thing in recruitment whereby clients will say, "Hey, can I have a discount?" And honestly, we do say, "Okay, what bit don't you want? Do you not want the guarantee?" I'll give you
I like that.
And I'm joking. That's exactly what we say. We don't want the guarantee. We can reduce the guarantee. And in terms which if you want to prepay, we'll offer you a discount, and just make it rock solid. And then if you say, well, but so and so's offering, they'll do that for 5%, and I'd say just say grab them, just go for it.
Maybe I should do that with mine. I often get people. I get a lot of price shoppers, and they don't look. I want people. I was saying to Danny the other day that say, "I love your work. Can I get some shots?" Blah blah blah. Instead of going, "How much do you charge for a photo shoot?" That's the first thing they say, and I'm like, "Oh, hold on. We haven't discussed anything. You just want to know how much." They don't know what goes into it, etc., etc. Anyway, I think if you had "Oh yeah, sure, I'll do it for a lesser price, but I'll give you smaller images and I'll watermark them or whatever," exactly what you said, Lachlan, and then they'll go, oh yeah, maybe I should be paying the normal price,
Yeah, that's right. And part of it is in the way you word it. You say, well, I don't do that. I don't just give the same price. This is what you can. It's your choice, and it's like an automatic machine. They press the button for this, or they unselect, and therefore you get cheaper. So you want slow delivery on something, you can save yourself a couple of bucks.
Yeah, I have a base price for the lowest level. And I had someone the other day ask, and the first question was, "How much do you charge?" And it catches me unaware. And I'm like, "Oh, you need to look at my website." But I had to come up with the price there and then, which I do have, but it's not how I like to deal with things. Generally, I say, "What's your budget?" But this person said they had, I told them the price and they said, "Oh, well, I only have about 300. And I only want 1 or 2 photos. And it's like he was saying, 1 or 2 photos almost takes the same amount of time to take 10 photos,
Yeah, that's right.
But,
But in terms of the takeaways, just getting back to here, Helen, is I'm sort of looking at everyone here, is almost have a separate product. If you need to bring money in the door, the sort of common wisdom is have a separate product. You're not necessarily a physical product, but a separate service. Fence it off, and then you can have it ready, and boom, like Paul might have a sale on stuff.
Yeah, so
No, I've never had a sale.
But I mean, you could have. How, Paul, would you get money in the door quickly if I said, "Paul, you and I off to Australia, one woman and song."
I think there's
one woman song here.
Example here, and that is that if I'm online, then I can alter my income almost immediately if I want to. But years ago, I had a shop in town, and I decided I was going to have a sale, and I went from like a small A4 to like a lot of A4s, and then I closed the shop, and I ended up with like the white all over, SALE, and then I ended up with ads online, blah blah blah. Had I had that sale just on my front window, I would have not turned any extra money over, maybe at all, unless I was lucky. As it was, I advertised it everywhere, and I ended up with everything gone in about 3 weeks. So there are some products out there, right, that you cannot turn over quick.
Right.
And if I was having a look at academy training and I think, okay, you know, if I want to turn over some money real quick, there is no chance that I'd be able to do that. Absolutely no chance at all.
Right, we just need to finish the meeting. Anyone want to have any topic for next week if we do this? We've got advertising, brand recognition as in the pipe for other meetings, but was anything that we sort of gleaned? That guy that spoke yesterday, what did he talk on that could have been interesting for us that maybe we could have as a topic? Because that was he had some good things that we could discuss. He talked about having a bench of people that you could ask for favors and who side you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sorry, going back to that, guys. The one thing for the takeaway really is if you're going to discount, have a separate brand for your discount. If you look at all the big boys, you've got Spark and you've got Skinny.
Yeah.
So they've basically made it a separate brand so it doesn't burn their prime brand.
Absolutely. It's like fenced off.
Yeah.
Like that.
What's the one they had, free to me or something?
Yeah. It's like what I put there, have a go-to product that you can sell quickly. So it could be something completely different or a different.
Yeah, but fence it off. You might not do it under Helen Oaks. You might do it under Quick Picks or something.
Another solution at the moment is having online courses. So when somebody wants to know how to set up a website, can they do it? I say, why don't you buy my course for $300 on how to set up a WordPress website?
Yeah, and you could promote that. Yeah.
And that.
Oh, but I want you to do it. And I go, well, I'm not doing it for $300, mate, but sit there and watch the video and do it yourself, mate. You know,
You know, like even, you know, like an ebook as well, you know, you could have, you know, like whatever it is, you know, like and divide it up into however you're able, you know, like to get to the market in a hurry.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but you've got to write the ebook.
Well, you've got to write, yes, you've got to have all the products first, but yeah, you know, they don't all.
Yeah. But who was this guy, by the way, speaking?
Okay, guys. It's a very hard meeting here, but anyway.
His name was Tony Wheeler.
Tony Wheeler.
Tony Wheeler. Cool.
Okay, so that's cool. So I'll leave it for next week's topic because we.
Well, I'm a starter for brand recognition.
Okay.
Brand.
Yep. I like that. Yeah.
That sounds very good. I really
Vote
appreciate
for brand recognition.
Yeah. Oops. Gone quiet again, Danny.
I know. I'm trying to finish the meeting.
Oh, okay.
So passionate about it. It's really cool. Sorry, I'm a bit grumpy today. I've had a long week. So excuse me for my behavior.
I like your top, by the way.
Wouldn't ever go get interrupted. All right. So thank you for listening to our Think Tank meeting. I hope you got some insights from the meeting today. And please do feel free to subscribe and listen to other podcasts that we do. And we will be discussing brand recognition. I think, was that the topic? I think it was next week.
Yep.
Yep, brand recognition for our next week's topic. So if you want to tune back in, we hopefully will give you some more insight. Thank you for listening.